Talk about what I love about Naples. Before I dive in on that, if you like what you see here, if you want to learn more about the area, I'd ask that you please subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends who might also be interested. I look forward to sharing more information, more insider tips on the area, and your subscriptions and your shares are really helpful to me. So thanks so much for that. Without further ado, let me dive in a bit and start with the weather. As I sit here at the end of October recording this video, we're having another gorgeous day. It's actually been a little hotter than it has been the past week, probably touching 90 today or pretty close to it, with a little bit less breeze. We've been in the mid 80s. In the mornings have been in the high 60s, which is just spectacular, and we can expect a lot of the 80s, highs in the 80s, low 80s to mid 80s, and lows not much lower than the mid 60s for the next 5 to 6 months at least, which is one of the reasons why there are so many people here and so many people moving to the area, and the primary reason, frankly, why I'm here. It's rare that I wake up in the morning or go to bed at night and check a forecast to see what the next day is going to be or what I can expect when I go out. Occasionally that means getting trapped out there without an umbrella, which I did today for the 1 minute that a freak shower happened to pop up. But generally you can expect some really wonderful weather, particularly during the winter season and the high season here. So moving on from that, the off season, the weather isn't quite so good. Definitely a bit wetter. In the summer, we expect, depending upon the month, 2 to 3 days, every 2 out of every 3 days, roughly, with some rain, and that's not ideal, but you learn to live around it. And the showers generally aren't all-day showers. Oftentimes, a half hour, an hour with a pretty good soaking, and then you're back out there. But what's great about that off season is that it gets quiet around here, and there are some amazing opportunities to take advantage of everything that Naples has to offer. And at least in the pre-COVID days, we'll see what happens, hopefully after we're out of the woods here completely in the next year or so, or shorter. Some wonderful deals as well, with restaurants offering some great deals for locals who are the year-round folks in that off season. You talk about the weather, it's also very logical to talk about the beaches. In my location in East Naples, it takes me about 15 minutes in the off season to get to either the beaches of Marco Island or the beaches of Naples, so around the pier area or Fifth Ave, right in that 15-minute or so range, at about 10 minutes or so, possibly 15 during the high season, but very reachable, amazing beaches, different kinds of beaches. The beaches on Marco that I tend to frequent near the Marriott are a lot longer, a lot deeper, a lot more sand there, whereas Naples beaches might be a little shallower, but just great water in both places, and really some wonderful times to be had there. Sugar sand beaches. Additionally, depending upon whatever time of year it is, the golf here is amazing. It really doesn't matter if it's in season or off season. You just adjust when you play in the off season, perhaps to avoid those showers, or know that you're going to have a little bit of a soaking while you're out on the course. The abundance of golf in the area, 70 plus courses in Collier County alone, and some wonderful, wonderful golf courses means that there's something for everyone. And in the off season, again, we have our reciprocal season here, which if you belong to a country club in the area or a golf club in the area, you have off-season playing privileges at very reduced rates at 60, 70, 80 courses, depending upon what course you belong to and which reciprocals they have lined up. So just in a wonderful opportunity. In most cases, you don't pay more than at most $60 or $65 to play those golf courses with a cart, oftentimes with a lunch special and drinks and a drink. So just a great reason to stick around from May to October, or May through October, to take advantage of those reciprocal season. Naples has a great feel to it. It feels like a town that's much bigger than it is. It definitely is a small town that lives big. The total population here is not that much above 20,000, even with some of the recent influx of transplants. And despite that size, which is certainly a small town probably by anyone's definition, the abundance of shopping options. Fifth Avenue on Naples is a wonderful place to go to drop a lot of money if you like. There's great food, everything from fine dining to local establishments that are tremendous. We're close to 3 airports and that will give you many options to get anywhere in the country. Some with more direct options than others. It's only about a 30 to 40 minute drive, depending upon where you are in Naples, to RSW, Southwest Florida International, which is in Fort Myers. Fort Lauderdale is an hour and 15 minutes or so just across Alligator Alley. And Miami International Airport is maybe an hour and a half or so with options of going across the alley or taking the more scenic route through the Everglades on 41. To really emphasize just how special Naples is at that size, for a city or a town of that size, we actually have 2 Ritz-Carltons here. And I think that probably says a lot. Speaking of the Ritz, and talking a little bit more about dining, it's the range of options here and the high or more casual living that you can do depending upon what you prefer. And what you prefer from day to day is wonderful. At the Ritz, you can have $40 Asian-inspired scallop buns at Gumbo Limbo, right on the beach. They're tremendous. Or you might go to the aptly and recently renamed That Taco place and get 10 amazing tacos for the same price on Taco Tuesday and have just as much fun at either place. And probably see a lot of the same people at both places. Speaking of the people, that's yet another reason why I really enjoy Naples. 60 is probably the new 40, maybe 70 is the new 40 or 30. People here like to have fun, and they don't act their age in the best possible way. As a result, I also find that the people here are mostly happy. I tend to walk an awful lot in the morning, get a little bit of work done on my phone, read the paper on the phone, etc. And walking by people in the park, walking by people in the communities in the area, it's the exception that someone doesn't smile and wave versus versus the rule. So you're going to enjoy your time here. People are happy because of all these things, and it shows. And they're healthy. So related to that, every day feels like vacation, even when I'm working here. It's when you can wake up in the morning, look out and see sunshine, see palm trees, have the resort style living that is so typical of many of the communities here and many of the communities that you might want to consider as you think about making a move here to Naples. It's just that relaxed lifestyle that's tremendous, laid back. You can have Miami, as far as I'm concerned. There's a lot wonderful about Miami, but that was a great place to go when I was in my 20s. Now that I'm almost 50, it's the idea of Naples Midnight has grown on me. And if you're not familiar with that term, it's Naples Midnight is about 9 o'clock here as they roll up the streets. Some exceptions certainly, but it's definitely an earlier night. You can still have a lot of fun before 9 o'clock. And lastly, one last note on the people here and just the general laid-back feel and vibe in the area. It's rather remarkable, given the concentration of wealth in this area, that there is such a lack of pretentiousness, at least in the circles that I tend to run in. The old adages of the less you have, the more you talk about it, and vice versa, does really ring true here. It's remarkable how many conversations I've had with people I've known for a long time or people I've known for 2 beers, where they seem like the most salt to the earth, humble people that you've ever met, and then you find out that they're worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and it really is refreshing to see that it's not a show-off culture, and anybody can fit in here. So I hope this has been helpful to you to hear a bit about what makes me love Naples so much, and hopefully some of those things would resonate with you. If they do, I'd love to have a conversation with you to help you find your new home in Naples or Marco Island. And certainly, if you liked what you hear, if you'd like to find out more about Naples, please subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends and family that might also be interested. I appreciate that very much.